Be Wealthy and Smart, episode 1587.
Step into a world of wealth and financial freedom without budgets, boredom, or bosses on Be Wealthy and Smart. And now, here's your host, Linda P. Jones.
Welcome to Be Wealthy and Smart. I'm Linda P. Jones, America's Wealth Mentor, empowering women and men worldwide to financial freedom. On today's show, we're going to talk about why there's an unusually strong real estate buyer's market. Now, this happens to be the strongest buyer's market in housing in more than a decade, according to CNBC. And it's also the headline on a new report from Redfin, which is the real estate brokerage owned by Rocket Companies. The report points to specific data on the supply of homes for sale and the number of buyers actively looking. There were an estimated 36.8% more sellers than buyers in October, according to Redfin, the largest gap in records dating back to 2013. Redfin defines a buyer's market as one with at least 10% more sellers than buyers. Economists at the brokerage estimate that the last time there was a stronger buyer's market was in the years following the 2008 financial crisis, when home prices plummeted across the nation. Redfin researchers say, of course, it's only a buyer's market for those who can afford to buy. Many Americans have been priced out of the housing market as affordability has eroded. And that's the crux of the problem. Is it really a buyer's market if so many buyers are still priced out and therefore not even looking? Real estate firms cite housing affordability as the biggest challenge to their business, according to a new report from the National Association of Realtors. It far outweighs other challenges, including industry costs. Jessica Lotz, NAR Deputy Chief Economist, said, real estate firms are on the front lines of the industry and are seeing firsthand how housing affordability and local economic conditions are impacting their clients. Home prices continue to weaken, but nationally at least, we're still 1.2% higher in September from the year before, according to Cotality. Prices are roughly 50% higher nationally than they were just 5 years ago, pre-pandemic. Selma Heb, Catality's chief economist, said, much like the K-shaped trend seen in overall consumer spending, driven largely by higher income groups, lower income potential homebuyers are facing challenges due to an uncertain job market, sluggish wage growth, and worsening financial conditions. This is leading to weaker demand for homes and downward pressure on prices. In fact, mortgage rates have come off their recent highs, but are still roughly twice what they were in the first years of the pandemic, when it fast became a seller's market. Cost remains the primary obstacle to home buying, with about 75 of the top 100 housing markets still considered overvalued. In Washington, D.C., which was hardest hit by the recent government shutdown, potential buyers, largely those who were unaffected by the shutdown, are discovering it's easier to get good deals. Paul Legier, a buyer's agent with the Joel Nelson Group of Keller Williams, said they are figuring out they have leverage and are finding they can seek price concessions and repairs. It feels like it might be a short moment in time. The shutdown may be over, but consumer sentiment is not pointing to a surge in home buying. In its November sentiment survey, the National Association of Home Builders reported a drop in builder sales expectations over the next 6 months. NAHB chief economist Robert Dietz said, we continue to see demand-side weakness as a softening labor market and stretched consumer finances are contributing to a difficult sales environment. Yeah, interest rates are fluctuating. People are not sure whether the Fed's going to lower rates in December now. There's more uncertainty about that. Here's what I would say. There's enough weakening in the economy that I'm pretty sure we are going to get interest rate cuts in December, January, and March, if not more. So I'm not worried about interest rates, and that is going to help the housing situation tremendously. In addition, new lower tax rates kick in on January 1st from the Big Beautiful Bill, which we don't have all the details on, but we do know there's no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security. At least those parts have been announced. And I'm optimistic that we'll find out there's even more tax cuts in there. but that remains to be seen. In the meantime, we'll probably have a lot weaker jobs market just with that long-term trend with AI and with the government shutdown. I don't see how it could be any different. And that will allow for the interest rate cuts. So stay tuned. In my opinion, lower rates should help buoy the real estate market. If you haven't yet subscribed to Be Wealthy and Smart, hit the subscribe button and you'll be notified as soon as new podcasts are available. And all of my podcasts are on my website at lindapjones.com/podcasts. And while you're there, sign up for my weekly newsletter for more wealth tips for your financial freedom. That's all for today. Until next time, live the good life and be wealthy and smart.
Thank you for listening to Be Wealthy and Smart with Linda P. Jones. Share the wealth and tell your family and friends about the show. Check out our website, blog, and social media for more riches at www.bewealthyandsmart.com.